Sporting Journal Radio, presented by Onyx.
Well, the opener's not far away. Looking forward to it. I know some of the other lakes are starting to open up just a little bit. And fishing, of course, everybody gets excited. It's an annual tradition. It's like a holiday. I know Mother's Day sometimes gets overshadowed by the opening of fishing. It's a big deal for the state of Minnesota, and there was a recent meeting that MnFish put on to kind of put an exclamation point on that fact, didn't they?
Well, it's interesting because this is one of the few years that Mother's Day is not on the fishing opener. The Mother's Day is the weekend before, so that won't conflict. But yeah, so you know what? I just attended a MnFish meeting, Brett, down at the Clam headquarters in Rogers, Minnesota, and you know it was really a great meeting. The governor actually showed up, Governor Walz, and they had Commissioner Steve Grove. You know, we had Sarah Stroman, the commissioner of the DNR. We had Laura Bennett McGinty, who's the head of Explore Minnesota Tourism, and really some very influential people in our state attended this meeting, which was wonderful because they were there and we were all talking about fishing in Minnesota. A lot of stakeholders from the fishing industry, of course, were there, some media, and a good meeting, Brett. I think whenever you're talking fishing about Minnesota and such, it's good.
Yeah, it is absolutely good. And I know Ron Schara was there and he criticized some things about the DNR. And according to this article that I'm reading, he was criticizing the DNR for not investing in things like boat ramps and fish hatcheries. And I have some criticisms of the DNR, and I think those are valid criticisms too. But I'm glad that Stroman and Walz and some of these other people were there because I think the DNR, for the most part, appreciates fishing and knows what it means for the state. I think at times their hands are tied by the legislature a little bit. And I think those are the people and some of the people maybe that control the DNR from different places in the Minnesota government need to put fishing more at the forefront of their decision making. And that's just my personal opinion, of course.
We don't. I'll say this. Yeah. So Ron Schara was basically commenting about the lack of money being put into our infrastructure when it comes to boat ramps and fish hatcheries and stocking efforts in Minnesota. And, you know, MnFish is an organization, by the way, that they're all about creating a quality fishing opportunity within the state of Minnesota. And the two initiatives they are after this year are primarily increasing the number of boat ramps in Minnesota and also creating, helping the infrastructure and ultimately, stocking programs within Minnesota. They showed charts that showed the amount of money that's been invested in our hatcheries in Minnesota, and there's been not very much invested at all for a number of years. So, Governor Walz made the comment that we get ratings for the state of Minnesota, and if you want to get a high star rating, you need to invest in your infrastructure. That's one of the things that's important they look for. So that's the road the MnFish was going after, and really. Brad Parsons of the Minnesota DNR, I don't want to speak for Brad, but he did answer a lot of the questions, and his perspective is, stocking is really, really good in some situations, but not in all. It's not a silver bullet per se, and so there are some differences of opinion when it comes to how often we stock, when we stock, where we stock. The topic about pike came up, eating the fry when you stock them, and it went a number of different places, but it was a good discussion, and it was a respectful discussion. And, that's sometimes, this, Brett, as long as people are respectful and they're willing to take a deep breath and listen to other people's perspectives and understand why they have those perspectives, that can certainly lead to some commonality. And, even if from my perspective, MnFish and the Minnesota DNR, they might not agree on anything, on everything, but there are some things that are some commonalities, and maybe they could start working on those.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you always hear the discussion of introducing more kids or getting more youth involved. And it sounds like there weren't a lot of young people there. So whoever, MnFish or whoever maybe needs to reach out and get some younger generations. Not saying you need to have younger perspectives necessarily every time, but it certainly helps when you're talking about the viability of the future of fishing in Minnesota. You need to include the next generation in some of these things. But I'm glad that they did that. It sounded like it was good, and maybe this meeting needs to happen annually, because it was a state of fishing in Minnesota, the first Minnesota Fishing Summit. So maybe this is going to be an annual thing. So I think that's great. Minfish, I really like the fact that organization came about and want to be a part of it and do some more with it. So I'm glad that this happened. And Joe, we'll let you get back here, but if people want to learn more about coming up for the opener or doing some fishing at Lake of the Woods this summer, what should they do?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, our Facebook page is real active, Lake of the Woods Tourism. Otherwise, and our Instagram, of course. Otherwise, check out our website, and that is lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
Hear more at sportingjournalradio.com or wherever you get podcasts. Northern Minnesota's Walleye Factory is a year-round world-class fishing destination. The perfect getaway this summer is just a short drive to Lake of the Woods. Fish Big Traverse Bay, the Rainy River, or visit the unique Northwest Angle. To catch big fish, you have to go where the big fish are. Plan your trip to Lake of the Woods at lakeofthewoodsmn.com. That's lakeofthewoodsmn.com.